Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. Minority and women-owned construction firms and companies that support the construction industry are invited to attend a subcontractors interest meeting. This relates to the new innovative Windsor-Chavis-Noco Community Complex. The meeting will take place from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, April 11th at the Samet Corporation located on Gallimore Dairy Drive. Samet Corporation has been hired as the construction manager at risk for the community complex. The joint-use recreation, library, and aquatics facility will be built on the site of the existing Windsor Recreation Center. Noco Park will also be rebuilt on the same property. Samet Corporation, in partnership with United Maintenance Group and Kate Services, will assist in pre-qualifying companies to work as subcontractors on the project, which has a construction budget of $65 million. For questions related to the pre-construction process, contact Johnny Seigers, Director of Diversity and Inclusion, at 336-544-6796. Learn more about the project by visiting the city's website. The Greensboro Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, is accepting grant applications for Section 5310, Enhanced Mobility of Seniors and Individuals with Disabilities. Additionally, the public can comment on the Coordinated Human Services Transportation Plan 2024 update. The grant application and the coordinated plan are available on the MPO website. The MPO's Transportation Advisory Committee will consider funding applications and adopting the coordinated plan at its virtual meeting at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, May 8th. An estimated $364,000 is available in fiscal year 2024 for Section 5310 projects. Eligible applicants include area transit agencies and nonprofit organizations operating qualified services in the Greensboro MPO area. Grant applications are due on Sunday, April 21st. This program will provide funding for transit capital or operating projects as identified in the MPO's adopted Coordinated Human Services Transportation Plan. Grant funding is subject to change. The coordinated plan prioritizes funding for the Section 5310 program. Comments on this document are due on Sunday, April 21st. A virtual public meeting for the coordinated plan will take place at 12 p.m. on Thursday, April 11th. For more information or to request a copy of the grant application, contact Tram Truong at 336-373-2903. The city's Housing and Neighborhood Development Department seeks qualified developers for the acquisition and development of multifamily units located on John Demery Drive. This is a two-part process starting with this request for qualifications, or RFQ. The deadline for statements of qualifications is on Friday, April 19th. A virtual question and answer session and on-site inspection is scheduled for Tuesday, April 9th. Housing Director Michelle Kennedy said we want to engage with developers interested in purchasing and improving the property on John Demery Drive as a transformative and catalytic project for the site and neighborhood to include affordable homes for qualified residents. RFQ responses will be assessed based on applicants' basic qualifications, relevant project experience, and financial capability. Those who pass the RFQ screening will be invited to develop a team and proposal package in response to a request for proposals to be issued by May 3rd. By establishing minimum criteria for qualified developers through the RFQ process, those selected know they have a reasonable chance of winning the project, and those not selected avoid incurring additional project pre-development expenses. For more information, visit the city's website. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Hi, I'm Laura Watson, registered dietitian with Cone Health Nutrition and Diabetes Education. There are a lot of mixed messages out there about healthy eating, so today we're going to unpack some do's and don'ts about healthy eating and how to make smart food choices. Because there are so many mixed messages about health and nutrition, it can be very confusing. Do be very selective about what you believe about health and nutrition. Do make sure that your information is coming from a licensed nutrition professional and that they are credentialed to give you that nutrition advice. Do be very wary of any fad diets. 95% of diets do not work. They are unsuccessful in the long term and cause weight regain. So do follow a balanced diet with a variety of different things and do include different types of food groups. We want to follow the general My Plate recommendations that incorporate a variety of different things, grains and proteins and vegetables, fruits and dairy products. Unless there is a medical reason why you need to avoid a certain food group, do not restrict your intake of any major food group. When we're talking about grains, we want to choose whole grains. So that includes things like oatmeal and whole wheat cereals, quinoa, whole wheat crackers. Okay, what we're looking for, guys, is in the ingredients list, we're looking for whole grains. So the very first ingredient should be whole. It could be whole wheat, it could be whole oat, it could be whole quinoa, it could be whole rice, but what we want to do is have the first word be whole. That's going to give you the most fiber and the most B vitamins. When we're talking about fats, we want to choose heart-healthy, unsaturated fats. That's going to be things like olive oil, or your Smart Balance or Promise Bread. These are made from vegetable-based spreads, so they are not going to have any saturated or trans fat that increase your heart risk. We want to stay away from your saturated and trans fats. Now, most food companies have taken trans fats out of their products or have marketed that there's no trans fats, but it can be misleading. So in this product, it says that there's no trans fats, but if you look at the ingredients list, they can be hidden and they're called hydrogenated oils. And those is just a tricky word for trans fat. So we do want to avoid those types of products and stick with more of the heart-healthy liquid type things when we're doing our cooking and our seasoning. For your meat, we want to choose meats that have less marbling on them. So those are the white spots. So we want to choose things like poultry and fish more often. Lots of brightly colored fruits and vegetables. So fresh, frozen without sauce. Canned is fine as long as you dump out that the liquid that's in the can and wash that off because that's really high in sodium. When we are eating, we want to practice mindful eating. So it's not just what you eat, but it's how you eat when we're talking about being healthy and making healthy eating choices. So a lot of us today are very, very busy, and a lot of times we eat more than what our bodies actually need when we're eating so quickly. So intuitive eating means sitting down at a table, turning off the TV, putting away your tablet, putting away the computer or the work, and taking a break to actually enjoy your meal. Take smaller bites. Savor that food that you're eating. Taste it. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it spicy? Does it need some salt? Do you even really like what you're eating? Make sure that you're actually enjoying that. Chew your food slowly. Put your fork down in between bites. Take a sip of your beverage in between bites. Make the meal last at least 20 or 30 minutes, as it takes 20 minutes for the signal from your stomach to reach your brain and tell you that you're full. As you're eating, check in with yourself mentally and see where you are in your fullness cues. As you're getting comfortably full, stop. Make sure that you are getting adequate hydration as well, because sometimes we feel like we're hungry when we're actually thirsty. So keep your bottle of water with you at all times and take sips of it throughout the day so that you can stay hydrated and focused. I hope you found these tips helpful. For more information, please visit us at conehealth.com/healthyeating. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Laura Watson.
The city is partnering with the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro to showcase local artists, and developers and contractors will benefit from a new permit review app. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The City of Greensboro, in collaboration with the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro's Public Art Endowment, issued a Request for Qualifications, or RFQ. This is for public art to be displayed in the interior of the planned Windsor-Chavis-Noco Community Complex. The deadline to submit the RFQ is May 22nd. The collaboration between the city and the foundation meets the common goal of installing public art that benefits Greensboro's cultural and economic landscape. This project, which will consist of a mosaic or relief sculpture, spreads the considerable impact of public art to underserved areas and populations of Greensboro and will highlight the historical significance of the East Greensboro neighborhood. For more information about the RFQ, please contact Public Art Consultant Cheryl Stewart at 336-790-7766. Artists who need assistance responding to the RFQ can attend the RFQ information session hosted by Creative Greensboro. Learn how to navigate the process from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 10th at the Greensboro Cultural Center located at 200 North Davie Street. For more information about the RFQ information session, contact Chief Creative Economy Officer Jocelyn Boone at 336-373-7998. The city's revamped online resource for submitting building plans or securing permits is now available. Plan Review and Tracking version 2 has been in development for more than a year, designed to benefit developers, contractors, and residents. The Information Technology Department's application development team relied on staff and public feedback to build this tool. The app improves the city's ability to receive plan submissions and reviews, making the process more intuitive, flexible, and user-friendly. The application is available on the city's Development Services website. Plan Review and Tracking version 2 includes the following highlights: a simplified initial question to start the submission process, the ability to submit sketch plans for addresses beyond city limits, redesigned submission paths for specific plans ensuring a tailored experience for commercial and residential building plans, fire construction permits, and landscape plans. The added convenience of saving frequent contacts for user profiles and allowing all plan contacts to receive automated plan status updates. There's a new FAQ page, helpful document links, and an improved form for user support. These enhancements represent the first phase of a larger process to improve how the city interacts with plans and permit requests. The City of Greensboro is seeking memorabilia as part of its architectural survey of East Greensboro neighborhoods and nomination process of South Benbow Road Historic District to the National Register of Historic Places. This can be including old photos, postcards, church bulletins, and other personal items that tell the story about local African American history. The city's planning department invites the community to share their items on Thursday, April 4th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Hayes Taylor Memorial YMCA on East Florida Street. Once scanned, the items will be returned. This marks the second community scanning session. The first was last year and garnered more than 500 items. The city considers this as a way to help to preserve Greensboro's African American history and heritage. Representatives from the Conversations in Black African American History and Heritage Project will conduct the scanning session. The group includes staff from the city, UNC Greensboro, North Carolina A&T State University, State Archives of North Carolina, Preservation Greensboro, Greensboro History Museum, Greensboro Public Libraries, and others, including community residents. The project was made possible by a grant from the National Park Service African American Civil Rights Program and city funding. Local employers, educational leaders, and community partners will lend their voices to discuss the demands of a sustainable healthcare industry. Coming up after the break, we'll spotlight an annual summit aimed at soliciting healthcare workforce solutions. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Meeting the demands of the healthcare industry into the next decade is the focus of our workforce, educational, and health industry practitioners. Joining me now to tell us about the annual Healthcare Workforce Summit is Joyce Rice. She is a business services consultant with Guilford Works. Hello, Joyce. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Carla, and thank you for having me.
Always good to see you. Now tell us about the summit, which is an annual event. How long has Guilford Works hosted this event, and when did it come about?
Absolutely. So the annual summit actually started 4 years ago.
Wow.
We are very excited to have hosted it now. This is our fourth year, incoming fourth year. And it actually started during, believe it or not, the pandemic. We thought that having a look at the healthcare industry, and with the pandemic being a health-related issue, we thought it would be good to take a deeper look at how healthcare might be changing in light of the pandemic. How is it now impacted after the pandemic, during, and what types of changes or needs might healthcare industry leaders express that they need. So we gathered our industry stakeholders, we gathered our community partners, we gathered our workforce practitioners, we gathered our economic development partners, and we began to have a discussion virtually.
Okay.
So we were very excited about that.
Okay, well, that's a really great group that you're bringing together the key players and
Yes.
everybody who would most likely be making decisions.
Yes.
For those who are not familiar, how would you describe the event?
So the event is very interactive. It is very structured, and it is an event that curates conversations, discussions, and dialogues around strategies to improve our local industry here in the Piedmont Triad. So you have those key industry players from the education space, from the industry space, community agencies, local and regional government, and state representatives that come together and share information regarding local market data, regional market data, how to reach the underserved community, best practices for addressing talent pipeline gaps or industry demands. And so you're going to find that this experience will offer networking. It will offer some panelists, special guest speakers, and just an opportunity to see who's who in the healthcare workforce ecosystem in Guilford County.
Okay, well that kind of leads to my next question in terms of who would ideally benefit. So you may be a worker in the healthcare industry, an administrator, somebody who's educating students getting ready to go into that arena. Like, who would you say needs to attend this event?
That's a great question. Anyone that is working in the healthcare space that is supporting individuals acquiring credentials, acquiring education, maybe serving student populations or even adult populations that are interested in breaking into healthcare. So our educators, our industry leaders, those are the individuals that are really telling us what's going on in the day-to-day, what's happening with retention, what's happening with attrition, what are the key occupations that are needed. So our industry leaders, community agencies, they're the ones that really will help us fill those talent gaps and talent pipelines. So they're saying, hey, we've got people that are interested, or we've got people that are interested, but here are those needs. Also, our local and state representatives. We work very much with our local commerce department in Raleigh. They provide great data. And so local and state government, economic development partners, anyone that is serving the healthcare industry from a workforce development standpoint, a hiring standpoint, or education standpoint.
Okay, so it sounds like a lot of very direct, specific information that will be made available, but will there be opportunities for the attendees to ask questions? Do they need to wait for the networking part? How does that work?
That is also a great question. So we have, last year we had 2 speakers and 2 panels. We're excited that we're going to be able to expand that a little bit, but in between each of those segments, there are opportunities for questions. And those questions are quite engaging and really, in most cases, lead us to other opportunities for further discussion. So there will be opportunity to network between 8:15 and 9, and then there will be opportunities for the guests to actually ask questions of the panelists or the speakers.
Okay, so before we wrap it up, tell us, when is the Healthcare Workforce Summit and how can folks get registered?
Absolutely. So the summit is slated for May 21. beginning at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We are elated that the School of Health and Human Sciences is our host for this year. So the event will take place in the Alumni House in the Oakley Family's Reception Room. And you can find out more about this by going to www.guilfordworks.org. You will find more information about posts as well as all of our social medias on LinkedIn and Facebook for
Oh,
GiftWorks.
wonderful. All the connectors.
All the connectors.
Well, thank you, Joyce, for stopping by to promote the Healthcare Workforce Summit. I have no doubt it will be well attended.
Yes.
We do want you to come back anytime and let us know about your other programs.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some interesting information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council meetings take place in the Katie Dorset Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Creative Greensboro awarded $300,000 to 17 local artists and cultural nonprofits through the Sustaining Creativity Community Partnership Grants. The funds provide general operating support for organizations that offer creative programming and significantly expand the city's support for the local creative economy. The grant recipients received between $10,000 and $25,000 to be spent by the end of June. 4 recipients received an additional $2,500 bonus for excellence in creative vibrancy or community benefit. The grants went to nonprofits that were not already receiving significant support from the city. A panel led by Greensboro Cultural Affairs Commissioners reviewed the applicants and recommended the selected organizations for funding. Jocelyn Boone, Chief Creative Economy Officer, said it's important for small and mid-size arts and cultural organizations to feel supported by the city. This grant enables them to continue their work on a local, regional, and national level. The Cultural Affairs Commission approved the recommendations in January. This is the second year for the grant program. To learn more about the Sustaining Creativity Community Partnerships Grant, visit the city's website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some special events happening this week on the town. The Greensboro History Museum welcomes Melinda Maynor Lowry for its 2024 Wicker Endowment Lecture on April 11th. An American history professor at Emory University, Lowry's presentation is titled The Lumbee Indians' Long Fight to Reimagine Democracy. Visit greensborohistory.org for more information about this free program. The UNCG Jazz Ensemble 2 returns to the Crown at the Carolina Theater on April 13th. Enjoy big band jazz music from the talented group of students under the direction of Chad Eby. These shows tend to sell out, so get your tickets early, either at the box office or online at carolinatheater.com. The Greensboro Symphony has just the show for Star Wars fans April 13th at the Tanger Center. The orchestra takes concert goers on a journey to a galaxy far, far away with some of the most thrilling music written for the movies. Guests may even dress as their favorite Star Wars character. Find tickets and more information online at tangercenter.com. The Greensboro Farmers Curb Market hosts its annual Go Green Spring Plant Sale on April 14th. Stock up on perennials, annuals, vegetable starters, and more, plus potting soil, and hanging baskets. Whether you're a home patio gardener or a budding urban farmer, there will be something for you. Learn more online at gsofarmersmarket.com. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The City of Greensboro is celebrating the one-year anniversary of its food waste collection pilot program by adding a new drop-off location. The Congregational United Church of Christ on West Radiance Drive is accepting food waste. This program allows members of the congregation and the neighborhood to convert food waste into valuable compost and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The successful community partnership, which began last April, collects an assortment of food and unbleached paper products. Triad Compost Service converts the waste. The city relocated the drop-off location at Deep Roots Market on North Eugene Street last October. As a result, residents have contributed more than 2,000 pounds of food waste each month. To participate in the food waste collection program, look for the green labeled carts at each drop-off location. For more information, visit the city's website. Coming up after the break is our Way to Go GSO shout-out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout-out. This week's shout-out goes to Mayor Nancy Vaughn and the City Council. They hosted the second annual State of the City at Piedmont Hall with the theme Mission in Motion. Mayor Vaughn delivered the State of the City address featuring all members of the City Council, together highlighting the priorities for Greensboro. This was followed by a panel discussion with the mayor, Jackie Boone from Creative Greensboro, Doug Higgins from Oakview Group, and Richard Beard from the Greensboro Sports Foundation. They discussed alternative funding sources for sports tourism and the creative economy. To watch the entire program, visit the city's YouTube channel at City of Greensboro NC. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM, 100.7 FM, and 90.5 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO, plus GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.